What's up, everybody? In this video, we're going to go over some different foam rolling exercises you can do that's going to help you if you're having some knee pain and knee issues by showing you the common muscles that when tight and overactive can begin to cause knee issues and extra pressure on the tendons and joints around your knee so that you can begin foam rolling these muscles out to get the range of motion back in them better, to relieve the tension in them so that you can go about doing your physical and daily activities with a decreased level of knee pain. So let's get into it. So a key thing when it comes to foam rolling, of course, is the actual foam roller that you're using, because it can make a big difference. I would recommend this acumobility ultimate back roller. It's designed with high density EVA bumps that gets really deep into the muscle tissue compared to standard rollers. So you're going to see how much better you're going to be able to target those trigger points, to get them out, to relieve pain, to help you get your range of motion back in those tight muscles when you're using this roller compared to a standard one. So I heavily do recommend this. If you are looking for a higher quality roller, I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in checking it out. But now let's get into these exercises.
Okay, first we'll start with the calves. And when your calf muscles are tight, it can cause knee issues as it can present itself as pain behind the knee and will limit your knee flexion, which will cause a lack of range of motion in the knee that will end up putting extra pressure and stress on them when you do things like running and especially compound leg lifts like your squats and things like that. So foam rolling and loosening up your calves is a very important thing when you are having some knee issues and knee pain. And when you're foam rolling over your calves, you want to make sure, again, you're going nice and slow. You want to really roll it nice and smoothly. See where that tight or tender spot may be in the calf. It will present itself as really painful when you start to roll over it. And when you find that trigger point or that place that is really tender on your calf, you want to hold that foam roller there for 30 seconds, as holding it for 30 seconds is an SMR technique that, in layman's terms, when you do it, basically signals to that tight muscle that you're applying the pressure to begin to loosen up, will cause it to stretch out a little bit, and over time will help restore the proper range of motion and function back in it. So that's how you want to foam roll over your calves. When you're having some knee pain and issues, making sure you're loosening up your calves will be something that can really help with getting the proper range of motion back in your knee, which will help decrease your knee pain over time. Okay, the next area that you really want to focus on foam rolling if you're having some knee pain and issues is going to be your IT band, starting with your glute maximus. The glute maximus makes up the largest portion of the hip muscle, and it's also the largest and heaviest muscle in the body. And when the glutes are tight, it really changes the position of the leg, which can end up causing an uneven distribution of forces through the knee, which can result in heavy knee pain. So keeping the glutes loose will be important. And when you're foam rolling over the glute maximus, what you want to do is first put one leg over the other. So the hip that you're foam rolling is the one that you want on the bottom, and that other leg that you're not foam rolling over, you want to just simply put it over the top, as this is what will engage the glute maximus. And again, as you're rolling over it, you always want to make sure you're not going too fast. You want to give it a few nice, good, slow, solid rolls. See which part of your glutes is feeling tightest or the most tender. And once you find it, you want to hold that foam roller there for about 30 seconds, or at least until you feel that tension begin to loosen up a little bit. You want to continue to do this over time and to continue to work out those tight, tender spots in your hips, and it will begin to put that leg back in its proper place and should help with your knee pain and help your knee pain decrease over time. The second part of your IT band you want to roll over is going to be your hip flexor, also known as your tensor fasciae latae, or TFL for short. The TFL is an abductor and internal rotating muscle. It works in conjunction with the glute medius and gluteus maximus to stabilize the legs. And when your TFL gets tight and overactive, it can cause some major problems in the knee because of that lack of stabilization that the tightness brings. So foam rolling out that hip hip flexor is going to be important. And when you're rolling over that TFL, you really want to roll through about the front of the upper mid to upper leg area is going to be where that specific muscle is. And as you're rolling over that area, you want to be nice and slow and controlled. And you want to find that spot again that's going to be really tender and tight around that upper and mid leg area. And as you find that, you want to hold it there for about 30 seconds or until you feel some of that tenseness and tightness in your hip flexor and TFL area begin to relax and loosen up. And again, you want to continue to do that over time, continue to build that flexibility and get that range of motion and get that tension out of that TFL, so your legs are going to be more stabilized, which will help with your knee pain and knee soreness. All right, and the last part of this IT band we want to make sure we hit is going to be that outer quad area. And that outer quad area, of course, when it's tight, again, as being a part of that IT band, is going to affect your range of motion in your knee, which over time will put a lot of pressure on it, which can be a reason why you're seeing some pain. So you want to make sure you really foam roll that outside of your quad as well. And when you're foam rolling down the outside of your quad, you really will want to start from about the almost to the top of your leg, right almost by your hip, and you want to roll it all the way down and through, even almost to your knee. There's going to be almost like that whole outside part of your thigh. Really want to roll through that nice and slow. See where it's the most painful and figure out where that spot is that is the most tense. And once you find that spot, again, you want to hold it on there for 30 seconds or at least until you feel that tension or that spot that's really tight in your leg begin to release and loosen up. And again, you want to continue to do that over time, increase that range of motion and flexibility in it. And that should definitely help your knee pain and issues begin to fade away as you foam roll that outer quad out. And the last area you want to make sure you foam roll over if you're having some knee pain and issues is going to be your adductors, which are the group of muscles that's located around the inner thigh and quad. When these muscles are tight, it can cause unwanted tension and pain in the knee, especially for someone who does a lot of aerobic running and things of that sort. So loosening your adductors is going to be something that will heavily help decrease the pressure on your knee, which can help over time to decrease the pain in it. And when you're foam rolling over the adductors, you want to place it right on that inside of the leg, and you want to kind of roll it right from about that inside, lower inside of your quad to about your knee to all the way up to kind of like that upper portion of your leg, not too high to where your hip flexor is, but really just from about the inside of the knee, not right over top of the knee, on the inside of it to all the way up through that inner leg. See which one of those muscles, or as you roll over that adductor complex, which area of it is going to be the tightest and most tense. And as you find that spot, again, you want to hold there for 30 seconds, or at least until you feel that pressure and that tension begin to loosen up a little bit, and continue to do that over time. And as the tension in the adductors begins to kind of fade away as you foam roll over it, it should definitely help put some pressure off your knee, which will further help decrease your knee pain as you do that over time.
All right, guys, so those are going to be the foam rolling exercises you can do that's going to help decrease your knee pain and soreness. And before we get out of here, I want to give you guys this verse.
And this verse is 1 Corinthians 10:13, which says, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it."
And I want to give you guys this verse, man, because in the same way that, knee pain can feel so debilitating to our body in our everyday life, temptation can have that same effect on us, not even just from a spiritual standpoint, but in our everyday life, where we're tempted to do things that aren't going to ultimately get us to where we're wanting to go. Temptation is one of those things that can get anybody, no matter who you are, where you come from, your background, ethnicity, whatever it is. temptation is going to always be there, especially when you're trying to develop yourself in your relationship with God. But I just wanted to really let you know that, man, you have the power to overcome temptation. You have the power to build the right habits. You have the power to be able to build yourself up, to be able to overcome any temptation and thing that you may be struggling with, even now that you feel like you may be falling to, and that you can overcome it through the power of Jesus Christ. So I just want to encourage you, man, because, you know, temptation is something that I have struggled with very, very heavily as I was going through pornography addiction, different things like that you're always tempted to go the wrong way in. And changing those habits is going to be hard from a natural standpoint, but you can find victory through those things through God. I just want to encourage you, man, to give those things that are tempting you, those things that may be draining you out spiritually, mentally, physically, give that to God. Get a refreshing from God so you can become the person that God made you to be, and so that you can get the power to overcome those negative habits and temptations that keep pulling you back into things that are going to ultimately drain out the purpose that God has for you. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, definitely be sure to leave a like. Definitely be sure to comment, man. Any questions, feedback, concerns, would love to get any and all feedback in the comments below. Definitely be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification as well, as I'm always uploading new content every week to help you improve your physique, your health, your wellness, and your faith through the foundations of fitness, nutrition, and a relationship with God. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that new content. Definitely be sure to check out some of my other content as well. I'll leave some links in the description so you can go and check out some other videos I have uploaded that I think will further help you in your fitness and wellness journey. And again, man, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.